So hello class, and today I want to go over my presentation for project 2. And I know we had the choice to choose between either a technique or, a subject of matter. So with the help of the professor, like we got the idea of dark subject matter, and that's what I'll go over right now. So in my words, I take dark subject matter as, something that appears much darker to like from a background. So with this one by Lauren Marks, watercolor, she's making the bunny, with the moths stand out. And it's more of her focus, the focal point. It draws your eyes to her image instead of like creating a background. And why am I interested in it? Well, I feel like what I want to do is also that, like having a subject be the center of attention, per se. So the first artist I'm going to speak about is Tim Burton. And Tim Burton is, we all know him as an animator, a director, producer, he's a writer, and an artist, of course. So he's known for his gothic type of fantasies, just like, Nightmare Before Christmas or Beetlejuice. So his artwork really involved things that were unusual, and that's, the aesthetic I like to achieve with my art as well. And his artwork involves drawings, ink, watercolor, like sketches, and also paintings, which I was shocked about because I never knew he had paintings, and I spelled paintings wrong, but it's fine. And with what he created, his, subjects were always emphasized. They were always, the center of the attention and very detailed. So I'll go over the paintings on the left. And these two, it's untitled, but they're two ghost dogs, and it's done on black velvet with oil paint. So I thought that was pretty cool. And along with the next one, it's also done on black velvet, but this one is acrylic and it is also untitled, but its name is Corpse Boy. Then the one on the right is like cephalopod, which is also a type of like octopus. And I thought that one was pretty much close to what I want to do, which is applying some sort of media like paint, watercolor, and then having ink being like an outline to it, just to add like the little details to them. Overall, with all of these, I like you really see what he's trying to get upon. He's trying to put his characters into place. He wants you to see those characters and not be drawn away by the background. Even though with the ones with the two dogs and the corpse boy, he like the ghost one doesn't have a background, the corpse boy does have a background. But I feel like he's still trying to get that character in them. So adding a little bit of background doesn't really, it doesn't really hurt. So Francis Bacon, an Irish-born British painter, periods he was in was Expressionism, Surrealism, Cubism, and he was known for his raw imagery, which included popes, crucifixions, abstract figures, and people that he knew, such as his friends. So he would use nondescript backgrounds, so his backgrounds that you'll see in his paintings really didn't have much detail to them. He would put the detail more on his subjects. And what he would use is oil, acrylics, and others could be found in his works throughout them. So we'll start with the one on the left, and the one on the left is a Screaming Pope, and it's done with oil paint. The second one is Three Studies for a Crucifixion, also oil paint. And the last one is titled Painting 1946, which was at the MoMA, and it's oil on linen and pastel. So with all of these, I really got the feel of his work and how raw they all kind of are. It gives you like a certain feeling to them, like an unsettling, eerie type of feeling. And I feel like he does put dark matter into his work, making his subjects really be what stand out from the background. Now, the next artist I will talk about is the Little Ghouls, also known as Julia and Joanna. And they have a large following on Instagram, which they sell some of their paintings, their artwork, and also create other type of things too, like candles. And they're known in the Gothic community, or really people who are just interested in their art ultimately. They use watercolors, ink work, oil, and even acrylic. And for me, what they create is really a true inspiration of what I want to become. And maybe like one day I'll get to the point where I could show as much details as I'll show you in the next slide. So I'll start with the left. Now, the one on the left is titled Fester. The second one is Ginger. And then the third one is Princess Bunny. Now, with all of these, you could tell they use, their paints very strategically. They use their watercolors finely, and not only using watercolors to define their characters, but also the backgrounds and trying to, emphasize that they want to show the attention of the subject. And that's what I found cool with their work because it's something I'd like to show in my work sometimes. I'm still working on it, but it's something I want to achieve in my work as well. So also what they do with their paintings is try to add highlights with them with white paint and really using that ink work just to emphasize the little details throughout their subjects, which is also a thing I want to achieve in the future. Now with my work really is something that I barely started working on because, the only medium I have nowadays is watercolor. So really the clown and the girl are the first ones that I kind of started with, and they were my practice ones. So I'll go over all of these together. So the first one is a horse that is a skeleton, and he's on a carousel with balloons, the clown, which is the toy that I have myself, and then the girl who really I created just out of my mind. And the last one is a pumpkin in like a cemetery or garden type. Now, with my work, I really try to emphasize one subject, even though, you know, to the horse and the pumpkin, there's like a background, which kind of gives it like a feel to where they are. And I think that's what I was trying to achieve with them because, without having other things in the background, I feel like you don't know where they're at. But at the same time, I love that I do that because it makes it seem like I'm trying to put more focus on them and not their background. And with the clown and the girl, I wanted to do those portraits. Well, I'll start with the clown. It was a portrait of a toy clown that I have, and I wanted to put more focus onto him. I call it him, but I wanted to put more focus into it to make it seem creepy and eerie. And with the girl, I decided to leave it unfinished because I feel like, you know, she doesn't have a background. I just created her out of my mind. And it was like a test, a practice for a watercolor. But overall, I feel like all these artists really do inspire me to up my game on my subjects and add more details into there. like into them. And well, yeah, like they do inspire me to do more and maybe even try to get my dark subject matter to stand more out. And just because it's dark subject matter doesn't mean they have to be dark, you know, but it's more trying to emphasize them and trying to get them to pop out rather than, their backgrounds, which is, you know, the background could work too, though. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys liked my presentation. Sorry if it's not good. It's first time. But I can't wait to see how everybody else's turns out and can't wait.